evening, morning, don't know what you call it, but welcome all to another late night FB Live by the Shy Man, aka David Daniels. Hope you're doing well. Guessing most of you, rather, will be watching this one on a replay due to the time. I had our first house group, so that's where fellow Christians from my church come together and share the message that we heard on Sunday and just share how we're doing life, the challenges we're facing, the successes, the wins. So myself and my wife held our first one here at a house, so can't really use it as an excuse for the time I'm bringing this to you, because this is kind of like the time I bring this to you anyway, which leads me nicely on to, I won't rehearse, time, managing time, what I use to manage my time. This Facebook Live is dedicated to James Gornell. James, I really value the time that you gave me earlier on today, just guided me really and given me further research to do about how I can make the most of using social media to share my message and also to promote the event that I want to be involved in on the 10th of December. Warren Ryan's the self-development event of the year. Check it out, it's on my event page. I'm hoping to speak amongst world-renowned, well-known speakers, but I've got to do a bit of promotion for that. So James, really thank you for your time, and when the time is right, I will definitely be utilising your services, and I'll share your website link for anyone else looking for that whole internet stuff, SEO, digital marketing, etc. James is a guy to go to. Anyway, so James asked me the question when we were speaking, and I'm looking, I've actually got notes for this one, so bear with me. I want to get this one right. He wanted to know, he wants some advice on planning, scheduling, time management, and productivity. So I thought the best way to do it is to kind of share what I use. And I hope, James, you find this of use. I hope others out there find this of use, how you manage your time, and what can you use. And the whole world of the iStore and Google Play has brought the rise of apps, and there's so many apps out there. And I'm not forever, but at times I get really into research mode. I'm big on research, so I like the kind of articles like 10 best productivity tips. Those kind of articles I'm quite hot on, about finding ways and means that can help me really with my time, make my time more efficient. So what do I use? So these Facebook Lives are really, I get inspiration for these almost on a daily basis. A lot of what I bring to you, stuff I thought about days and weeks ago, and where do I record all these great ideas I have? If someone can design an app where you can just, as soon as you have a thought, you can speak into your phone, it can be recorded. I know there's Google Now. Is it Google Now? Something like that, like an equivalent of Siri for the Apple iPhone. But I haven't quite got to grips with using that. That's the closest kind of thing I've found, because often I find when I'm in the shower, I just get all this mad inspiration. It'd be great if I could just start talking and something could be recorded. But anyway, the next best thing I found to that was something called Google Keep. Very similar to the can't remember the app now. It'll come to me. There's a more well-known app that people use. It's kind of like a note-taking app, and you can record in a variety of different media. So you can take images, cut website links, type up notes, record notes, and it's just like basically it just gets all stored in there. So you can have different threads or different subjects. So I've got one for my public speaking. So any kind of research in the early days, any kind of courses that I found that I thought might be suitable, it's kind of I just save the links all in there. I've got loads of notes just to come back to later. But anytime I have an idea for a Facebook Live, I jot it down in there. And the thing I like about Google Keep is that I'm a big believe in syncing stuff up and backing stuff up. It's a fear thing I have. So with Google Keep, you can back it up to Google, your Google account, and you can also open it or save it as a Google document. So that's why I use Google Keep. It's not as good. Well, sorry, it's not as good. I should say it's not as advanced as the one. There's the app that I can't remember. Evernote. That's the one. Evernote is probably the most well known. Hey, Tim, how you doing, man? I've got to watch your. I've seen you done an interview with Michael Sowa, man. Big things, man. Go on yourself. Big up yourself. If you don't know who Itam is, check him out, man. He's making major strides in the public speaking world, and I had the privilege rather, of being interviewed by him for a podcast. Mr. Marcus, how you doing, sir? Really enjoyed our Connect house group tonight. Um, hey, brother, how you doing, Autumn? So yeah, Evernote is the most well-known note-taking app, and I believe at the moment it's quite a bit advanced in terms of the features against Google Keep. But like I say, I like Google Keep because I can back it up to my Google account. I can also save my notes as Google documents. So in terms of Facebook Lives and any kind of, there's a whole range of different ideas I just get coming to me, and I just dump it all in there to review at a later date. So what else do I use? I'm going to refer to my notes. I use the number one thing I use, James, if you're watching this, is my calendar. I use one called Business Calendar. There are loads out there. I managed to again back it up, so it's linked to my Outlook email. So in case I ever lose it, but my calendar, everything I do, everything, my things to do list just gets put in there. Any thoughts I have, that things I need to do, just gets put in there. The thing I like about, I mentioned this yesterday, the thing I like about the calendar is I don't get everything done. In the past, I've set myself up 1,000,001 things to do, which are never going to get done. I'm working on that, so I'm trying to restrict the number of things I actually put in my things to do. But even with that planning, things don't go to plan. And the great thing is, if I come to the end of the day and there's something I haven't done, I can just cut and paste it into the next day, or cut and paste it into the next week. I love it. I love it. It's my number one productivity app. Is my calendar. My life is on there, and if I do lose it, it's backed up. I've got things going on into next year. Like for example, Autumn, we did the podcast. You said you want to see me in boy. Sorry, Autumn just said I'm on iTunes. Our podcast's been put on iTunes. Big up yourself, Autumn, man. Pat on the back for yourself, sir. Handshake for you, sir. That's big news. Autumn says he's on iTunes. His podcast is on iTunes and he's on Google Plus too. Fantastic, great news, Autumn. So yeah, talking about Autumn and the podcast he did, he's asked me to do another one in 6 months to see where I am. Now that's in my calendar. I think about 3 months' time, just to get me start thinking about it and contact Autumn to get that in the thing. So I just put that in my calendar. 6 months' time, I can set a reminder if I want. I tend not to use the reminders because what happens is I get loads of reminders just flashing up, and it kind of loses its meaning, because if I've got loads of reminders flashing up, it kind of gets lost. So I kind of just look at things on a daily basis, and then at the end of the week, I plan my week ahead and just cut and paste, drop things in, and I love it. I love it. Some people use a pen and paper, which is great. The thing with the pen and paper for me is, if you don't get something done, you've got to kind of write it on the next day. You got to write it and write it and write it and write it again. Where with the calendar, I could just cut and paste it. So that's my number one productivity, time saving app. So that's the calendar. What else have we got? So I have got something called Textra, which is a text messaging app. Does what it says on the tin. It sends text messages. The one key feature for me that Textra has is that it allows you to send messages in the future. Fantastic. So if I want to remind my wife about something and it's early in the morning and I don't want to disturb her, I set up the text message. I set it for 2 hours later. It will automatically send. I don't have to remember to do it. I don't have to send a calendar reminder to text my wife at this particular time. Love it. Absolutely love it. For those who are forgetful about birthdays and stuff, you can actually set it up to send messages I don't know how far in advance you can do it. I know it's weeks, months, and yeah, um, it's not that you've forgotten that you're thinking about that person. It's just you set it up so that it's there. You're still thinking of them. You might have a busy day. Something might come up that you forget to send it, but it's just there. It's done. That's probably my second favorite app, Textra. Um, what else we got? What else we got? We have got another one I use is multi clipboard. So clipboard, you think about in your PC, is a clipboard is where anything you copy just gets put in there and then you can paste it. Now on my phone, I don't believe there's actually a built-in clipboard. Hi Fran, how you doing? Hope you're on the mend. Hope you're well. Thank you for watching. I'm just talking about things that use time management, things I use like apps I use to help save me time or help me be more productive. So I'm talking about something called a clipboard manager I use on my phone. Some phones have got this built in, but I haven't got one, so I installed this clipboard, so it just saves anything I type, it just saves it in there. So if I need it at a later date, I can just go to this app, find it, and just paste it. And also common things that I use, like at the moment I've got my YouTube channel. The link is not the most fancy, it's just like loads of typing and gobbledygook, to be honest. So often I need to refer that, so I just have it in my clipboard manager. It's saved to one of my favorites, and I just use it and I clip it. It saves me loads of time having to find where the YouTube link is. So that's another one I use, and that basically, I don't want to keep it too long about this. Those are the kind of the 4 or 5 main ones I use. And James in particular, you were asking me about, so you sign up for a lot of free trials, you're saying, and which are like for 30 days, and you find it a challenge to remember when to cancel the free trials. Based on what I said, what I suggest you can do, you could use your calendar. You could set up a calendar maybe 2 or 3 days before your expiry is due to end, and that can be a prompter to remind you to cancel. You could also set as well as putting it in the calendar, you could set a reminder to flash up to remind you of that. You could also use, what could you use? There's something called, as an app called Boomerang. I believe you can use it with Gmail accounts. I'm not sure about Outlook, but definitely Gmail, which can actually. Hey Carmen, how you doing? So privileged to have you watching my my Facebook Live. I watched your Facebook Live the other day. It's just amazing the way you interact with people. You're stepping it up on another level. Really, you are with your page coming up, and yeah, I really like what you're doing. I want to model some of what you're doing. It's something I aspire to. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's a privilege, James. So yeah, I think there's an app called Boomerang you can use with Gmail accounts, which you can actually send email reminders. So if you have an email, for example, of your free trial, I think it can send you a reminder like a week later, 2 weeks later, to remind you about the email. There's other things you can do. I haven't actually used it yet. It's one I'm going to get around to using. So those are 2 ways you can do to solve that challenge that you have about forgetting about when your free trial ends. Something you could also do, I don't know if this works, but I was talking about with the Textra about sending messages. I don't know if it works to actually send yourself a message in the future. Maybe you want to try that one. But that's basically 2 different ways you can do it, and 3 ways that can help you with that challenge you have, or forgetting to cancel your free trials. And I know a lot of businesses use that free trial because they know people will forget, and they know people won't be organised enough to cancel it. So then they just carry on the subscription, and that's how they make their money. Not all businesses. Some people do it generally for people to get a feel of their product or the service, but some are relying on that appy fee as such, or forgetting to do that. Car insurance is a big one. That auto renew, they just they rely on people not remembering to sign up. And often what I found frustrating, you phone up, you negotiate a lower price for the same product, and if I hadn't made that phone call, they would have just carried on at a higher rate. It's not right in my opinion. The auto renew feature is good because yeah, sometimes we do forget to do these things, and you want to, for example, have your car insurance right, but why inflate the price so much? Where, evening Nana, how you doing, sir? How was the Paralympics today? I know you did a Facebook Live on the Paralympics. I never watched it. Never got around to watching it. Be interesting to see how the athletes got on today. Is it being covered on Channel 4? Let me know about it on the Nana. Um, what was I saying? What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. It will come back. Car insurance, auto renew. Yeah, I think it's a bit scandalous how they just automatically. Yeah, I can understand them auto renewing. We don't want to be out of car insurance, driving a car we think is covered when it's not. But why inflate the price so much when someone just calls up to knock down the same price or to take the admin fee off? Scandalous. But yeah, you can use these apps to help you to remember when to renew your auto renew. Sorry there. I think Facebook got fed up with me. Is trying to reconnect, trying to get my words out. So yeah, you can use these apps to help you to remind you nearer the time when these home insurance and things are up. So I hope that's helped you, James. I hope that's helped anyone else in this call, this video. I think it's time for me to go to sleep. This one will be on my YouTube channel. I believe now these are going to, Facebook Lives are going to post straight to Twitter. So yeah, James, I'm working on this automation of social media and stuff. But yeah, I will post James's website. Anyone, he's trying to get his business off the ground. He's helped me so much in the time that we've had together. He's given me loads of stuff to go away and watch around setting up a business page on Facebook and how I can make my YouTube videos more effective so people searching for things I'm talking about, they can find it easier. So I really appreciate that time, James. I hope this has been of value to you and everyone else. Nana, you're saying it was good. Don't top the London 2012, and yes, on Channel 4. Nana's talking about the Paralympics. The Paralympics started today, and it's on Channel 4 for those who are interested in watching. And I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. The Shy Man is out.